Hey Hard Rocks fans, I'm back with another breakdown with Brea, this time with a special guest, Nico Sharp. We're going to go through everything pitching related, just going to do an overview of all the different kinds of pitches and when you would use them in different situations. We talked a little bit about pitch tunneling before. Can you just explain what that means?
Yeah, so basically when you have pitches, you want them to follow down the same tunnel. So you want them to go all in the same path and then dive off late. So that way the hitter sees the same pitch down that same arm slot, same tunnel, and then they dive off last minute and they go in a multitude of directions. That way the hitter has no idea what's coming until it's already past him.
So what are some pitches that you would pair together to tunnel with?
I worked a lot with my spin, so my four seam and my curveball, my 12-6 curveball. I love tunneling with each other just because they're the same kind of spin. And then two seam changeup, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, just because they have that same two seam spin, and that way, I mean, the hitter can't really tell until it's already past him of what it's going to do, if it's going to cut to the left or just die out under him.
So for viewers at home that are just starting to kind of look at pitches while they're watching the game, not just watching as a fan, but trying to identify them while they're watching, what do you think are the easiest to look out for?
I think, for me, I feel like the easiest look, I just look at the way it breaks. And you can also tell by how a hitter swings, whether the ball moved away from him, did he just swing over the top of it. So kind of just look at it the way he swings, obviously kind of look back at this video, and if you see some guy swing straight over the top, and you can tell he was on it, but swung on the top, probably 12-6 curveball. Rather, if it's a righty-on-righty situation and then the ball, he swung and kind of lunged at it, maybe like a slide or slurve action right there. Or, you can kind of tell by the swings in a little bit if you know kind of what you're looking for. But a great way to start is just identifying breaking ball and fastballs, just understanding okay, that was a fastball right there. Ooh, that's a breaking ball of some kind, and then kind of going deeper into it from there.
So just to recap, if you're trying to identify pitches for the first time, you should look out for velocity, the movement on the ball, and how the hitter reacts to it. Is that pretty? Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's basically it. Just learn, is that ball moving from right to left? That ball just goes straight to the target, and then you just kind of look at it from that view, lefty or righty pitching, and then it'll be pretty to identify from there. If you can just simplify into, is that ball moving left to right, up to down, and then from there on it gets much easier. What
pitches have more horizontal movement as opposed to vertical movement?
Definitely. So horizontal will just for sure be like a slider, just because it'll cut across the zone really quickly, like a cutter, two seam. The only one that has a lot of vertical break will be like a 12-6 curveball or maybe a slurve, depending on how on top of the ball you get. But for sure, a 12-6 will have that straight up to down movement, 12-6 on the clock.
So we just talked about how different pitches are moving, but obviously that's going to depend on whether or not the pitcher is a righty or lefty, and then what side of the box the batter is in. So how does the movement kind of change based on that?
For sure. So that's why a lefty versus a lefty pitcher versus a righty hitter, that's why they always say, the righty has the advantage and vice versa. Because whenever it's lefty versus lefty or righty versus righty, now that slider, that curveball is either starting, actually a lefty-lefty situation. I'm a lefty hitter and I'm facing a lefty pitcher. That slider will look like it's starting on my shoulder and then breaking for a strike. So it kind of freezes the hitter just enough to get in the zone. While if I'm a lefty hitter and I'm facing a righty pitcher, I'm watching that pitch travel in. So I'm not ducking out of the way or I'm not flinching. I can just wait and see it from the other side. And same thing for the righty hitters.